Welcome back to the program. I'm joined by Talk Business and Politics, Wes Brown, to talk a little politics and a little business. Good to see you, my friend.
Okay, business or politics first?
Let's go politics first.
Okay,
Let's talk about the governor's highway plan. It is essentially one vote away from going to his desk. There's some semantics and concurrent amendment in.
Just need a bow on it.
It's got to go through the full House of Representatives to pass. Do you think the votes are there on the floor?
Yeah, I think it doesn't need the 3/4, vote that the tax cut needs. So it's a simple majority. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a done deal.
There could be a legal challenge on that 51 thing, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think next week, by the end of next week, the governor's signing the highway program into law.
Yeah, he will. That'll be 3 of his 4 chief agenda items completed. A transformation package is the last piece of that 4-prong agenda.
Right. I think the governor goes 4 for 4, if you want my opinion on this one. So, all right, let's shift gears. Let's talk business, because a big story that's been dominating your time, my time, and our time is Windstream's bankruptcy, triggered by a $310 million judgment from a New York federal judge. It's kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, because they were carrying a lot of debt, but I think they were juggling everything successfully. What do we know about Aurelius, which is the company that won the lawsuit, or was the lead plaintiff in the lawsuit?
In Aurelius, run by Mark Brodsky. He's a former bankruptcy attorney, and he runs now the Aurelius Capital Management Hedge Fund, which basically deals it's basically called what's a vulture capitalist or a vulture fund. They basically go out and find distressed companies. They were really involved in when Puerto Rico went through all its debt problems, and they bought up a lot of that debt. And when it came time to pay the pauper, they were sitting there looking for finding the broken pieces of it and cashing in on it.
They work through an unregulated market of something called credit default swaps, which is, and I'm going to dumb it down. It's basically it's insurance for bond debt is what it is. So if you take some of this bond debt on and you have these credit default swaps, you've got your insurance if something happens and the bonds aren't going to be paid. And lawsuits can trigger bonds not getting paid. So you might make more money off of the credit default swap than you would off of the bonds.
You're right. And in the way you do that, you plan both sides of it, and you're going to get paid either way. So they're going to get paid off the $310 million lawsuit, but they could also benefit from the bankruptcy too. So
we're watching the filings that will come out, which is probably all the public information we're going to get in terms of statements from Windstream or Unity, which is its spinoff company that's at the center of this lawsuit as well too. What do you think's the next shoe to drop? What should we be watching for in terms? Will it be Windstream filing an appeal? Will it be some new bankruptcy filing?
Well, with a Chapter 11 reorganization, they have to file. First of all, they have to get approval from the court to continue operations. They've already did that. They got a $1 billion debt in financing from one of their creditors, and that's I think was I can't even think of the name of the company, one of the Wall Street credit firms. And they got $400 million of that to continue operations, to continue day-to-day operations. The next thing, when they file their plan, we have to look for how will the bankruptcy court allow them to move forward. Will one of the things I'm hearing, they may go into looking at the deal with Unity and lower their rent payments that they make to Unity, or some other way to reorganize, sell some assets, but that plan has to be made in 120, really the first 30 days of the 124-month period of the bankruptcy reorganization.
Will we see layoffs, about 1,300 to 1,500 Arkansas employees, maybe 13,000-ish
well, generally,
nationwide?
Well, if you look at reorganization, Chapter 11 reorganization, something like Sears recently did a reorg, and they saw a significant they closed stores across the United States. They laid off almost more than 50% of their employees. I don't think you're going to see something that broad, but I do think you'll see some selling of assets and also some trying to renegotiate some deals that it did with some companies. You know, they went through a period of 8 or 9 big acquisitions, and they're probably going to have to sell some assets from those acquisitions. And then the last piece of that, as you noted, you could see some firings or some layoffs.
All right, it's Wes Brown with Talk Business and Politics. You can read his stuff every single day.
Every day.
At talkbusiness.net. More than once a day, as a matter of fact, lately. It's about 5 stories a day is the way it's been going. Thank you so much, Wes.
Thanks,
Always
man.
good to see you, my friend. All right. And thank you for watching. That's all for today's edition of Talk Business and Politics. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America, moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.
I did.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.